Hello, welcome to this video. Today I show you what the mouse action toolbar of the Imalytics Preclinical does and its contents, and therefore I will open the software first. Let me load an example dataset under Tutorials, Pet Spect, Pet CD Dynamic. I will open the 3D rendering, and what you can see here is a CT and a PET scan of a mouse that was injected with FDG. And we see accumulation of the tracer. Let me close the overlay. No, let me hide the segmentation in the heart and in the kidneys as well as in the eyes. But I will show you this later in detail. You can find the mouse action toolbar here on the left side of the Imalytics Preclinical. It's here. And you have different buttons, and I will explain them now. Every button has a toolbar. When you hover a tooltip, when you hover over it, you can see here the tooltip, and they explain the function of the single mouse actions. When you click on it, there will be a special mouse settings toolbar. It's here, and yeah. All the functions of the mouse settings toolbar are explained in the video. We have one video for every mouse action. So if you have detailed questions about one mouse action, just watch the video. They will help you a lot. But now let's start with the first one. The first one is slice through. So you can slice through your sample in any 2D slice view or also in 3D. Like this. And what you basically do is you move around this red point here, this crosshair, and this shows you where you are in your slice views. Yes. Next one is set view center here, and it's also related to the red crosshair. So it sets the view center wherever you click in 2D or in 3D, but you have to click on a specific point, not on the black, like the background. For example, we could click here on the kidney, the heart, or on the skeleton, so it will jump there. Now we are in the middle of the heart. The next mouse action is panning, pan view. So you can pan around the slices in 2D and also in 3D. Next one is change zoom. Here you can zoom in and zoom out, and it works in 2D and also in 3D. By the way, there are some shortcuts implemented for some of the mouse actions. You can find them under Help, Mouse Mode Shortcuts, and there you can see that, for example, for change zoom you have Control and Wheel. So when you are in another mouse action, you can just use the control and the wheel. And now I'm zooming in and zooming out. So I recommend to print out the shortcuts because they will help you a lot. And yeah, they're very useful. So you don't have to go back to the change zoom. You just can use the shortcut for it. But now let's come to the next one. It's rotate view. You can rotate your image data in 2D and also in 3D. Also very, very helpful. And when you go on the outside in 3D, there's a special mode on the outside. Also the mouse cursor changes. And this one is an in-plane rotation, and it's a rotation around different angles or other angles. Next one is the time. You can go through the time or set your current time point. And yeah, so I have a selected layer, the underlay, and the underlay, it's a CT scan. We have only one time point, but now when I change to overlay, you can see that we have 37 time points here because this is our pet data, and we can go through the time points. Let me hide the segmentation, and now you can see that the tracer accumulates over time in the bladder and in the kidneys, in the heart and in the eyes. Let me go back and did it a bit slowly. You see the accumulation. Okay. The next one is the interactive windowing. And now I have the overlay selected, so I will change the windowing of the overlay. You can see it here. When I now go to the underlay, I can change the windowing of the underlay. So many mouse actions, they work on your selected layer, so always make sure if you have underlay or overlay selected as layer. If your image operation doesn't work, then make sure maybe you have the wrong layer selected. Next one is the clipping plane. It works only in 3D, not in 2D. And here you can kind of look inside your sample, like this. And here you can select if you only want to change the clipping plane of the underlay, of the overlay, or anti-segmentation. And it works like this. Okay, next one is draw segmentation. The draw segmentation works on the 2D slice views. For example, I can segment a slice of the lung in this way, like this. And now I have one slice of the lung segmented. And it works also in 3D, but in 3D it's not so often used to draw segmentation, but rather to clean up a segmentation. So for example, you can delete parts of the kidney when you select as input class kidney and as output class unclassified. Then draw segmentation. Or you can even remove the whole kidney. This might be helpful for some analysis or for some images. And there are way more application possibilities of this draw segmentation, but just watch the video because it has more details or explain more details. Okay, the next one is create region. You can create different regions, a cylinder, a sphere, or a box. Let's create a sphere with a diameter of 3, for example. We have to select another class like this. It works in 2D, but also in 3D. Yes, but I have to change it. Okay, so it doesn't work in 3D, only in 2D. Good. And you can add also another fixed region, a cylinder for example. You can enter here your parameters. Okay. Good. And the next one is the Scribble Mode. And with the Scribble Mode you can draw these scribbles here. They look like this. And scribbles are used to delineate organ boundaries and to segment, for example, convex or non-convex organs. Or they're also used for cutting. But it's very complicated about the scribbles, or we have a lot of functions, as you also see here. There's a very long mouse settings toolbar, so please watch the videos if you have questions about the scribbles. The next one is the Isotool. I will delete the segmentation. And with the Isotool you can segment organs based on intensities. For example, here the kidneys are there here. I have to go to percent of maximum. Okay, that doesn't work. Maybe not the kidney in this. Let's segment the bladder. It's a better example for the Isotool. It doesn't work in 3D when you have the volume rendering. So I will change the overlay mode. It's not working because I have the underlay selected. So now it works to segment the bladder, and we can also segment the kidneys. No, not really. Not a good example. Maybe the time point is not the best I selected, but when I change it to ISO rendering, adjust the a little bit. Also not a good example. But yeah, with the Isotool you can segment organs, and it works on the underlay and overlay. I could also show to you for the underlay. When you watch the tutorial video about it, there's a better example for it. And now, for example, we have the bones segmented. Okay. There's another operation, fill region. With the fill region, you can get connected component of a segmentation. For example, we have let me hide the overlay. We have the two regions in the kidney here. When I now add a class left to segment the other kidney, I just can click on here and press on one voxel, and then it's segmented as left kidney. And this works in 2D and also in 3D. And yeah, next one is move or copy class. So by default you have the move activated. So now, for example, I can move the bladder to another position. Works in 2D and in 3D. When I tick here, it's copy. So now I can copy, make a lot of copies of the bladder. Of course, it doesn't make sense in this way to have several bladders, but for some segmentations, it's faster and easier to generate copies. Next one is Showbox Info. So when you hover over it, or when you press here, you see the information of your underlay and overlay, intensities and so on, the position and the word coordinate system. You can place markers, for example here on the elbows. We can call it elbow. And markers are important, for example, for image fusion. You only place markers on your selected layer. So now on the underlay, when I go to the overlay and show the overlay, you can place the markers on the overlay. Also again, make sure if you have overlay or underlay selected as layer. The next one is the measure distance. You can measure, for example, the distance of the thickness of the mouse bed, or the distance between organs or between the eyes. And yeah, you can save your distance measurement and your markers in a project file. So if you want to keep this, also your scribble drawing, make sure that you save everything as a project. Next one is the cropping. So we can crop out some pieces, for example, only the head of the mouse, like this. So it works in 2D and 3D. And cropping is nice to reduce the size of your dataset, for example. Yeah, or to only show some parts of it. Next is the image fusion. So if your pet and your CT, for example, they are not perfectly aligned, you can fix that by moving the overlay. Like this. Now I move it around. Let me go back to the volume rendering. So now it's a little bit easier to see. And with this you can easily align your pet and your CT image data. Okay. The next one is the image cleaning. And with the image cleaning, you can clean up your dataset. For example, you can remove the mousepad. Let me adjust the windowing. Like this. And you can clean your dataset. Oh, you have to select -1000, which corresponds to air and a Hounsfield unit calibrated CT scan. And now in this way you can remove the mousepad. You can also remove other parts of the mouse. Let me adjust the windowing. For example, we can remove one leg or the tail of the mouse. So you can clean up your image dataset. And the last one is the brain atlas, and there you generate an atlas for the brain. And we have several atlases in the software yet. And then you can also load your atlas and you can generate a segmentation. But for more information, watch the video. Okay, I hope this helps. I hope it provides a nice overview of the mouse action toolbar. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.